is joining us tonight to take a look at Windows Phone development and also some of the latest features in Windows 8. So for those of you who have been following some of the progression of that operating system, even has a neat beta and demo for us to take a look at. So without further ado, allow me to introduce Bob Familiar, who will join us for the next hour. Bob.
All right. Thanks a lot,
Thanks so
David.
much.
So good evening. First, I would say thank you for the opportunity to be here and to talk to you. As David said, my name is Bob Familiar. I'm the Director of Technical Evangelism for Microsoft here in the Northeast. Myself and my team, we work with students and professional developers. We teach them how to build apps for Windows Phone, for Windows 8, leveraging our cloud, Windows Azure, we do that through activities that we do online, through our blogs, through engaging in technical forums. We also run a lot of hands-on workshops on college campuses and at our offices across the country. So what I want to talk to you about tonight is modern app development on Windows. So the agenda is I just want to talk about what's it mean to develop for Windows. I'm going to dig in a bit. We'll look at some code. We'll talk about building apps that use open data APIs. So if you've been interested in building apps for iOS or for Android or for Windows and you're interested, hey, I'd like to do something with that Instagram API or it's Yelp or Facebook, Twitter, I'm going to kind of go over that design pattern. I'm going to show you some examples. We'll dig into it. Now, myself, I'm a C# developer, so I'll be using the C# programming language to demonstrate that. But the great news is the pattern I'm showing you is applicable, really very much in a cross-platform way, and you just, there's different ways to implement it, whether you're doing JavaScript or you're developing in Java for Android or on the Apple platform. It's just changes in language syntax at that point. And I'll close out and just really dovetail nicely with what David was talking about with PhoneGap. I'm going to cover just the cross-platform app and game development landscape. As you go into this space, if this is your, this is your career aspiration, one of the things you really want to understand is what are all the different ways that you can build apps and games for these platforms. And if you're doing it professionally, there may be value in leveraging cross-platform frameworks and tools. So I'll just give you a sense of what they are, what platforms they support, what languages, and what skill sets you might need. But knowing how to do something natively, it's a fantastic skill to have. But also there may be business reasons why a cross-platform framework or tool will make sense. And we'll just go over that briefly. And I'll finish out with pointing you to a whole bunch of resources that we have for you. So when you think about developing for Windows, obviously we made a significant change in the experience of Windows when a user first uses it. They're presented with this start screen. The apps that used to be on the start menu are now represented as tiles. And these are, in many cases, live tiles. So the tiles themselves will update with information. It's a touch-first experience. It's very, our goal is it's very immersive and allows a user to really get to what they want to do very quickly. I'll demonstrate some apps for you to show you that. Another key point from a developer's perspective is that we provide you language choice. So you can develop natively on Windows and on Windows Phone in C++, in C#, but also in HTML5 and JavaScript. So that, opening up the platform natively for web developers was a big shift. And the way we do that, I'll describe what the platform architecture is a little bit. But the bottom line is there's a common runtime. So regardless of what language you use, you have access to the full API set natively. So it's really about it's a skill set decision for you. So let me just demonstrate a couple of apps for you so you get a sense of when you're targeting the Windows platform, how do you really differentiate your app from others? Well, first off, this is the main start screen in Windows 8. I'm running this is an Asus ZenBook Prime Touch, so it's got a touch screen. I can see all my apps. I can easily scroll through them with touch. I can pinch zoom, and this way I can see all the different categories that I've defined. If I want to run an application, let's say I want to go to the Microsoft Store, I simply touch it, or of course I could click it with the mouse. One other interesting thing about the platform is everything within Windows is still fully functional with keyboard and mouse, but we've made it also a very, very good touch-first experience. So now I'm in the store, and if I was interested in purchasing Halo Spartan Assault, you know, I could go in here and I could check it out. I could see the different screenshots. I could look at reviews and so on, and I could choose to purchase it, which in this case I already have, so it knows that. Now, if I'm an app developer, one of the things I might want to do is make sure that the tile itself is providing value to the user. So you can have what's called a live tile. And there's a couple examples here. You see some tiles updating with the different images. You can see the store tile is telling me that I have an update. So these are things that you as a developer can take advantage of. The user could choose to turn that off or turn it on at any time. But it's something that if you are providing, let's say, status of your game, you might want to list what the recent high score is, or maybe if it's a multiplayer game, that you might want to tell the user it's their turn. You know, it's a chess game. The person you've been playing with has made their move. Now it's their turn to go in and play the game. So you could actually do that without the app actually running. So it's pretty powerful. Another thing that you can do is you can provide different tile sizes. So on Windows 8, we give you the option of a wide tile or a standard 150 by 150 tile. It's another way you can differentiate. The wide tile is optional, but so you supply that if you want to provide that capability for the user. Now let's see. Let's go here. So this is the All Recipes application. So this just gives you an example of sort of the design language that we are promoting with Windows 8. It starts with it being chromeless, right? So what that means is you're not seeing any decoration, let's say operating system window decoration here, right? Traditionally in Windows, if you were open to window on Windows 7, on the desktop, there would be an edge to the window. There would be minimize and open and close buttons in the upper right-hand corner. There might be a menu across the top. There's a lot of stuff going on in this window. Here, the philosophy is content is king. Content of the app is the centerpiece. And so you see very vivid images being used. The user is guided through this application. They navigate through it by the use of typography. So really nice looking fonts, different sizes mean different things. I'm interested in recipes that deal with bacon. All right, so I know I can just click on that. I can touch that, and now I'm seeing all the recipes that match that particular category. If I want to go back, I can see in the upper left-hand corner, little breadcrumb arrow. I know that I can navigate back to the main screen. So there's a lot more to that design language. We refer to that as modern app design. I think initially when we released it, we referred to it as Metro design. But now it's modern app design, and if you go to design.windows.com, there's a great deal of documentation on this design language. It's guidance on how to make a really beautiful application on Windows. Some of the other things this app demonstrates is the integration with the operating system itself. So I just swiped from the right-hand side. I brought in what's called the Charms bar. So this is also capability. As a developer, you have access to this platform features from your application. So for example, search. If I click on search, what you'll notice is the search flyout panel comes in, and all recipes is selected by default. So when I do a search now, I'm going to be searching all recipes. But you can see that there are a number of other applications that have registered themselves with Windows and are making themselves available for search. But if I was interested in cookies, in all recipes, that search is now being, that search query was just passed to the application, and the application then decides how it wants to deal with it. So any application can tie into the search capability that's built in to the operating system. Simply register